So we start officially. Good morning, class. Last week on Educandos, I also uploaded the video from the library with the workshop. And remember, that's something we always need to come back to, check how we do the search for information. Though you have been doing that also for other modules and you have been present. So you have 2 workshops already on how to look for information. So I hope you put your knowledge into practice. That's the idea. Okay, so today's week 10. Incredible, time has flown. It's amazing. We will have a free week next week, which will be a week of work for me. I will be uploading more feedback. So you will receive more information in regards to your work. But as I have been doing these last weeks, this is a presentation. Of course, we always talk about the organization, yes, and the modules evaluations. How are they developing? And one of the secrets, as you have noticed, is to be on track, keep working every week so that you don't get behind. So this is the key. Workshop 1 is completed. I have given all the feedback necessary. I am just waiting for some people to complete some corrections. That's the only missing thing. And I have to upload those grades. So sorry, that's my fault. I still have to do that. Workshop 2, we will try to finish today. So workshop 2, we will do as much as possible. There is an important section. And then there is the look for the papers. The look for the is already your responsibility to look for papers. So we will try to do as much as possible. We have in the morning to do that. So I really recommend you work with your groups, because when we come back in June, it will be another big task, which is the preparation of the project. So this is the beginning. This is the basis for this project, and therefore we need to work on it. So this will be the organization I was talking about. So today we work with workshop 2, yes, which has different topics. That's why it is important that we work together. Plus the agenda matrix, which is the final section of the task, in which you will it's a chart. It's a chart in which you need to write certain information about articles you're interested in for your project. So that's why it requires some discussion on your side. Remember, we have been talking about different topics, but this is your time to make up your mind. Next week will be autonomous. Then by the beginning of June, this workshop needs to be finished with the sections it has. It's like a task. And you need to have finished all the other tasks. So task 1, 2, 3, 4 need to be finished, because I need to upload the grades by the 10th, 11th of June. So the tasks should be finished. They have been explained. We have worked with them. The tasks are 4 in total. In week 1 and week 2, we explained task 1. You already have feedback. You needed to upload corrections. So that's already should have been done. I will come back to that stage. In week 3, we talked about task 2. I also gave you feedback, and I will have to come back by the end to see how you improve that work. I will give you feedback on these two tasks. Task 3 on week 4 and task 4 on week 8. So I have not seen them, but you will receive feedback in all your grades depending on the state you're in. Remember, writing, also critical thinking is a process. Yeah, so you need to probably reread, correct, improve. So we are doing that. You're learning, and this is worthwhile doing. So you have 4 tasks and 2 workshop tasks. 2. That would be complete. Now, workshops. Workshop 1, you already have feedback on that, so that there are a few people who still need to do some adjustments, but that's done, corrected, that's done. And workshop 2 on week 10. So today I will create the task to upload this work. So in a nutshell, resumidas cuentas, this is what waits for us in these 13 weeks. Yes, 12, 13 weeks, starting in June. So June, you will have a completely different task. It will also be in progress. You will have to do a little bit every week until you finish that task. So bear in mind, a lot is done in progress. Just for you to, it's a question of organization, really. So you can all do it. But I can't see what I am. Can you see the PPT? Sorry. Or is it elusive?
No, yes.
Yes, okay. So that's in regards the tasks and the workshops. So you have these two. So these tasks, I still have to see to give you feedback, okay, or the grades. So if you have any questions in regards to tasks and the workshops, this is the moment. If you want to ask anything, anyway, go back to the PPT. Go back to the PPT and download. Of course, this PPT is for you. It's a kind of book. Is everything is there, what we discuss in class, the questions. So it's a complete, you have complete information there. Of course, then on Educandos, I also write our agreements and you have more information. But here you have most everything. So this is for you to work with. And last class, we had this workshop with the library, and I also copied the steps you needed to access ProQuest One Academic, which is a website in which a database in which you can find the information you need for your task, for this task, and for your project next month. So this is an important reminder that you need to, how you access. So I will need to know that all of you can access. Can you all access? And could you all? Yes? Can you all access to ProQuest One Academic? Could you all access there? ¿Todos pudieron acceder a la base de datos?
Yes.
Yes. And then could you register and create your own account?
Yes.
Okay, so follow these steps. They are in Spanish. I have, so last week, as the professor was talking, I wrote them down. I also did on my own, so that you have this clear in mind how you're going to access, and how you're going to find out information. So then you limit the search. Remember, you can do it by in different ways. how you're going to look for this information. All right. Then you can also download from the website, from the library website, you can download the materials. You also were explained about Refworks. Refworks works with ProQuest. So that is a gestor that helps you organize the citations. Have you worked with citations in other modules already? ¿Ya han trabajado con citas en otros módulos?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, okay. So this is again a reminder that you need to, and there is a new document that I uploaded. I'm going to upload again. I'm going to show this document later. It is in Spanish, so you can use it to make your your search and to check how are you going to proceed with citations, with academic writings. Okay, on the one hand, all of this is just a reminder, and this was the presentation of the last section of this unit 1, Introduction to Research Knowledge, and it is part of our workshop, but also we need to focus on an important topic that is characteristics of qualitative and quantitative and mixed research methods. Up to now, we have just read about that. We talked a little bit about this topic in the first day, probably, or second week, first or second week. And the important thing is that you will find research papers done on the basis of these 2 methods or 3 methods, and you will need to learn how to recognize that and how useful they are for your own project. So we talked a little bit. So this is the first part that you're going to work with your groups today. And we talked a little bit last week about how much do you know about the methods and what would you like to learn. So who would like to say something? Have you read anything? Have you talked about this in other modules? Hello? People? Mm-hmm. Are you there?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Have you known anything about this? Have you read? Have you talked? ¿Alguna vez hablaron, leyeron?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
With my partner, we did this part.
You did this. And what do you know from before? What do you know? So you did this part of the task, yes. And what do you know from before? What have you heard?
When is research qualitative, is about aspect more social, is more subjetivo. Because it's about the person, and when it's quantitative, it's about numbers. And
yeah, we focus on different things. Yes, exactly. So qualitative is about more social aspects or humanistic aspects, or so social research, also research in the social sciences can be either qualitative or quantitative. So on that sense, in that sense, I think we have a distinction that is a little bit different. Barbara is right that in quantitative, we are paying more attention to numbers, even when it is about people, it's about quantity of people. Yeah. So quantitative research looks for amounts, looks to study amounts of people, yes? All numbers. Yes, and study people, but quantity of people, yes? Studies people in quantities. So quantity is important. So you will read, for example, you might read this and that instrument was applied to 400 students. So that's most probably a quantitative research. They are focused on proving something probably on the basis of numbers. So the more students, the more people they survey, for example, or apply the instrument to, the better. Qualitative in social sciences, Barbara is right. Subjectivity is implied, but in qualitative research focuses on, in what sense, on subjective views of, in this sense, Barbara, subjective views of participants. So it's not subjective in itself. We will I will remind you of something we also talked about the first classes. It's not subjective because I interpret it according to my subjectivity as a researcher, but because I am interested in study the subjectivity of others. So it's a different view. Yes, it's a different view. I'm not focused on numbers. You will read that there are qualitative research papers that interviewed 5 people, 10 people. Well, I am my bigger qualitative research intends to have a sample of around 30, but just because it is on the basis of 25 programs on pedagogy. So due to the amount of people, the population is big, my sample is only 30. But that is because I am going to do a research that is based on qualitative methodology. If I was doing quantitative, I would be happy to survey 1,000, you see. So that would be a different approach. Quantitative, so still missing, something missing. Okay. So it's more the meaning, it is more the objective. And of course, the means to get to that. Yes. So in qualitative, I would be interested in this subjectivity from experiences of participants, and not so much on counting how many they are so that they complete my survey and I get such and such correlation. Yes. So it would be a different approach. And what would you like to know about this? What else would you like to know? So you will be reading, so you will discover more things. Something that you still say, oh, but what is this in the end? Why? Okay, so think of something that you want to know. Why are we doing this in any case? Any more questions like that? Why? How? No? No curiosity. So you will discover many things. One of the whys is that it's great that it will enlarge your knowledge, give you open doors for you to read academic writings in academic journals. And that will also give you an access to learn more, to new knowledge that will for sure be important for your professional development. So Learning to distinguish this, learning to tell one from the other will really open new doors for the enhancement of your knowledge as future teachers. Okay, then I gave you some words, but for you to look up in the dictionary from the view of research. So therefore, you might have found that approach has different meanings, whether it is a verb, you have a verb, you have a noun. And therefore, I looked for one example on Cambridge Dictionary about approach as a noun. And one of the meanings, yes, means dealing with. What is to deal with? Dealing with, have you ever seen? So in this sense, approach means manejar algo. Dealing with es ser capaz de manejar algo en alguna forma. So approach means a way of considering, of dealing with or doing something. Es una forma de hacer algo, de considerar algo. Therefore, here we have this the meaning of approach within research means a way of dealing with something. Therefore, when we read about approach in research, it means it's a way of considering the problem. It's a way of dealing with an issue. And that goes perfectly well back to these questions in which we say, how are we going to deal with certain topic? How are we going to deal with an issue? Am I interested in the views, in the perspective, in the experiences of people, or am I interested in getting 1,000 people and making them complete an instrument to prove something? So that is the approach. How am I going to consider this problem? How am I going to deal? How am I going to manage it? And therefore here also the dictionary gives us some examples. Since our research so far has not produced any answers to the problem, we needed to adopt a different approach. That is, we needed to deal with the situation differently. And this can happen a lot, happens every day in research projects. And therefore, in research is very much used. So approach, you're going to read a lot about. Is that clear? How are you going to look up in the dictionary? Did any of you find methodology? People, did you find methodology?
Yes, but I know if it's good. It's correct.
Okay. We can discuss. So methodology, again, we use methodology in many areas of knowledge.
Yes.
So that can be more.
We find that methodology is a set of methods used in scientific research.
It's a set of methods. Okay, so methodology. Yes, when you talk about methodology, it's a set of, could be techniques or something like that.
No, just methods.
Methods.
But after we search method below.
Yes, and how was the result?
Method?
Method. What is method?
The structure and orderly way of obtain a result.
So it's a structure. Okay, that's very interesting. It's a structured way to
obtain a result.
Excellent. This is
structured and orderly.
Mm-hmm.
Orderly way of obtain a result.
Yes.
Discovering the truth and systemizing knowledge.
Structured and orderly way the way of
obtaining results.
Obtaining.
Yes, obtaining a result, discovering the truth and systemizing
the truth,
knowledge.
and systemizing knowledge. Excellent. So in research, we talk about the method as a way, as a means of dealing with a problem, but also to obtain is an orderly way. So it organizes all of the steps that you're going to follow in order to obtain a result or discover the truth. Remember that research is not only about discovering the truth. We try to discover something, to uncover something that is covered, or explain something that is interesting to us or has not been explained before. Or we find it can be explained differently. So in that sense, the method is going to help us follow those steps to get to the objective. So this is an excellent explanation of the word method. Yes, and methodology is this abstract noun that includes, yes, all the greatest, the biggest concept within which we find method. So this is also part of research papers. There is a section on methodology, on methods, and in there you're going to find exactly this. What was the way, which were the steps followed to discover what they are, and what they discovered, right, or what they explained by the end of the paper. So excellent. So you will find a lot this word in what you're going to read. So prepare yourselves whenever you use this strategy of looking up words. You're preparing yourselves and your brain to understand that topic. Well, research design, well, I think you can understand that. And technique will be something you do following the method, for example, to collect data. So those will not be difficult to find. And doing this exercise, as I said, will open your thinking, yes, your process, your critical thinking process, to be able to understand whatever you read. So this is a good technique whenever you're going to read something. Also, when you found, for example, some kind of article you're interested in reading, but from the title, you see that there are many words you don't know, you do this. Search in the dictionary, try to think of research, how does it apply to research, and study the words first, and then you will understand better. So this is an old technique we used in elementary school as well, trying to search for the words in the dictionary while we were reading or before reading. So another important reminder, and this is for all of you. So research, whatever it is, the methodology, whether it's qualitative, quantitative, they need to be based on objectivity. So research is objective, not subjective. I can try to understand people's subjectivity, but my position is objective as much as possible. Entonces, podemos confundir que la investigación cualitativa es más subjetiva. Implica mucho más al investigador, pero hay formas en las cuales el investigador deja de lado su subjetividad para poder llegar a la subjetividad del participante. Is that clear? Is it clear?
Yes, it is.
Yes, and whenever I'm going to explain my research as a qualitative researcher, I need to do it as objectively as possible. Otherwise, I will be treated as a bad researcher, yes, as an inappropriate researcher, doing something that is not within the standards. Therefore, although they might change, though these words might change, all of the every research project needs to fulfill these standards. Everyone has to be valid. That is, we try to look for truthfulness, try to be true to the procedures I follow, whether it is quantitative, qualitative, and try to answer the questions, the objectives I have established. It needs to be consistent, yes, reliable. That means that you can, everyone can repeat that and get to similar results, or probably not, but the procedures need to be clearly established so that any other researcher could also do it, though they might also get to a different result. That does not mean it is not consistent. Yes, I cannot alter those procedures. And it should be objective because I need, as a researcher, to have an unbiased view on what I am doing. Y este es el sesgo famoso. Yo tengo que eliminar mi sesgo de manera de entender esos datos, de dar la explicación más ajustada a los datos que obtengo y a la interpretación de esos datos. Therefore, all of this, though they might change the name, some authors might have different names for these standards, they should be followed. Whatever it is that my preference or my research project dictates is the methodology I follow. Okay, and now we're going to watch a short video from the University of Deakin in Australia. We will try to listen to keywords. Of course, it is about quantitative, qualitative, yes. But let's try to understand what else do they talk about when they talk about research and methodology. Which are the words that we might listen? And for that, I need to go back to my browser and try. Yes. Well, wait. Can you listen? Probably not. Okay. I will try to go back.
Or qualitative study.
Can you listen?
Quantitative and qualitative.
Yes.
What's the difference?
Now, yes? Okay. So quantitative and qualitative.
Quantitative and qualitative. What's the difference? Research studies usually fall into one of two categories, quantitative or qualitative studies. The difference between these two study types is the type of data they collect. Let's say you're running a study to investigate stress in a workplace. Quantitative data is usually numerical, using measurements, numerical surveys, and statistics. You could start by collecting some quantitative data on their height, weight, blood pressure, and so on. From this quantitative data, you find that half the study subjects are showing physical symptoms of stress. But the quantitative data can't always tell us why these staff are so stressed. This is when qualitative data is really useful. Qualitative data is descriptive, using surveys with open questions, interviews, and recording experiences. You want to learn about your subject's experience in the workplace. To find out why some of them are showing symptoms of stress, interviewing them about their work habits and environment. You find a theme in their responses that shows the staff experiencing stress are exposed to a noisy environment, which the rest of the workplace is not exposed to. You conclude that this may be the cause of their stress. So quantitative data is great for measuring how much, how often, and other statistics, while qualitative data is great for recording people's experiences, attitudes, and beliefs. Some studies will use both quantitative and qualitative data to try to get a whole picture in a mixed methods study. Next time you read a research study, consider whether they collected quantitative or qualitative data, or both.
Okay. Was that okay? Could you understand?
Yes.
Yeah, so it is easy, I think. The language used is easy, so they talk about differences, qualitative, quantitative, and they talk about data or data. Both are acceptable pronunciations. What else do she talk about?
Can you repeat, Miss, please?
Huh?
I can listen.
Pardon? Barbara?
Yes, can you repeat, please? Because I can listen to you.
Okay, yes. What is the what are the other words, the keywords that you listen to in the video? Can you hear me?
Yes, Miss.
Yes. So they talk about data. So everything. So all of these elements. So they can be numerical or they can be linguistic data that I collect to analyze. For example, she gives the example of these people at the workplace and stress at the workplace. Yes. She says something that is related to quantitative. Which word is that? That you might have heard related to numbers.
Statistics.
Statistics. Excellent, Valentina. Statistics. Yes, statistics. And that's a whole area within mathematics, right? That studies numbers and how do they relate to each other. Yes. And for example, she gives examples of quantitative data about numbers, about height, about blood pressure, all of this data that is can be expressed in numbers and they can be measured. Yes. So she talks about measuring. Yes. Mediciones. Measure.
Yes.
Exactly. And she says still these people at this workplace cannot discover why are people stressed. Yes. So what do? They try to collect some different kind of data.
Yes, they use qualitative data and was open questions.
Yeah, open questions. Yes. Questions. Interviews. So this more linguistic kind of data, yes, on the basis of words, yes, questions, interviews, and they try to analyze what in these people? The facts, yes, hechos, datos duros, facts. Beliefs, experiences. So see the difference. Beliefs, experiences. Yes, exactly. Quite different. Yes. Experiences. Therefore, you obtain different kinds of data. You can conduct different kinds of studies and get to the conclusions you get. However, by the end, she says these two can be combined into one. And the mixed method is a methodology that has been in development this last years. Great researchers in the United States that I follow, that I have read about, have written special books on mixed methods, just because they try to get all of this data, yes, quantitative, qualitative, and try to explain the phenomenon in a more complex way. And she talks also about the kinds of questions that you ask depending on your methodology. Can you recall the questions? No, but you will have them here. And in this summary we saw at the beginning of the semester, we have the questions. Yes, while quantitative tries to focus on what, when, where, so raw data, facts, how much, how often. Yes, she also adds how often, how much. All of these questions gives us an answer that is probably numerical, as I said, is a fact. So how much time do you spend working? 24 hours. Okay, so it is just a fact, a numerical answer. How much? How often do you have a headache? Every day. 3 times a week. Yes. How often? Exactly. So all of these questions will give us specific facts. Whereas qualitative research in regards questions tries to ask more open questions, as the girl said, Sophia said, but also try to look for higher order thinking questions. We saw this when we saw Bloom's taxonomy in practicum 2 weeks ago. How can we expand the critical thinking of students by asking questions that are more challenging to them, as for example, how, not how much, how many, how often. Those are questions that try to reduce the scope, but how in an open sense, so that there is more space to speak about and explain about different phenomena, different aspects, or different beliefs, or different experiences. Why is also a very open question, in which if we ask participants about why, we will be opening the door for them to express freely about the phenomenon. Yes, so we will not be asking for specific data, mostly numerical, but for paragraphs and paragraphs of personal experiences. Okay, that in regards questions, but also here the summary here included something that we have already said, right? We here with quantitative, we look for conclusive results, trying to measure something, trying to use statistics, regression, and correlation, and very complex and difficult to understand concepts, trying to explain a situation, a phenomenon to larger populations. Yes, so I am interested in 1,000 students of pedagogy, programs on pedagogy. Yes, and therefore I will get to this conclusive explanation about something that has to do with numbers, as we said, with impact, with correlation. This correlates to this, and therefore the result is such and such. So it's a way of seeing reality, not the only one, right? And whereas in qualitative, we will seek understanding of phenomena. So here I am not interested whether I might probably not be able to talk to 1,000 people, but even if I just talk to 30, as is the case of my study, I will have a view of human behavior, of their experience in a certain situation. Yes, how is their cultural demeanor in that setting. Yes, how they are organized, depending on my question. Also, I will focus on meaning. Yes, so I will focus on how, why. I'm not exactly looking for specific data, but for the sense, for explanation, as I said, and for interpretation of that experience they are living in a certain setting. Therefore, we have already read that it could be descriptive, explanatory, interpretative. So those are different possibilities within qualitative research. But the important thing is it is social. Yes, Barbara was right. And I am interested in the dynamics of a society or social groups, and also on individual perception, on collective perception, but always looking for this to understand these phenomena that are not necessarily quantifiable. Yes, I am not going to quantify how many people felt this way or the other, but I'm going to try to probably explain the core of that phenomenon, depending on my approach within the methodology. Okay, so now it's your turn to read, yes, to read and make up your own conclusions. So I'm going to send you, I will have to send an email. Okay, so we will divide in the groups, into groups that you're going to work with. You're going to tell me that, yes, it will be group work. And we're going to try to fill in this first chart, which is in the task. I will send you the task and the materials to read so that different groups have the materials. They will be on Educandos anyway. And we will divide in different, so we will divide the first article on research methods in different groups. So one group will read quantitative, so it's short, yes, short, quantitative, and you're going to try to find out this information. Basic concept, research design, paradigm. Remember, we studied the schools of philosophy, we did this. The main objective, whenever you choose this methodology, the research procedures, and the methods, the approaches within quantitative research. This, that Camila was explaining, this set of procedures within quantitative methodology, which is the all-inclusive terminology. Entonces, la metodología es todo, es muy inclusiva, mientras los métodos también se llaman approaches o enfoques. Es como yo puedo llevar a cabo un estudio cuantitativo siguiendo un set específico como método dentro de esta metodología que es inclusiva total. Okay, so you will find that every methodology has special approaches, enfoques o métodos within the bigger picture. Okay. You will discover that. Okay. Another group will do qualitative and the other group mixed. So we'll divide you so that each group reads a different pages, and we can complete this in some not very long time, because we still need to explain the research agenda. Is that clear? Will we do that?
Yes, but when you say a group is with my partner?
Yes, exactly. The people you're going to work with in your project.
Okay.
That would be the ideal thing, so that you start thinking, because when we come back, we will be already at the moment of doing the project. So if you have already decided on the topic, remember last week we were bouncing back different ideas and topics you were interested in within education. So now is the moment in which we narrow down those ideas. Okay, let me check this parenthesis. We are going to do the following. We come back to this week. We have refreshed what we did last week. You're going to work with your groups. We're going to have break, a short break. Go to the bathroom, bring some tea, and we will divide in groups. Yes? I will tell each group which pages to read to complete this chart. And we will come back together to discuss the chart on qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method. That will be the first part of the task. Okay? By accomplishing this is another section of workshop 2. And in the last part of the class, you will get again with your group and discuss the research agenda. Yes, and your topic, your main topic to be developed. Yes, do we agree? ¿Estamos de acuerdo? People?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Welcome back. Oh, I can see you all. That's great. Okay, so who would like to share or you dictate to me and we complete in the PPT so that you can all have the information in the PPT and then you can complete your tasks, which is better. So I think we can complete in here. No, not this one. The other one, the orange one. We can complete here whatever you have read, and then you can help you complete your own tasks. Is that better? The better
Yes.
way? Okay. So who would like to start? Quantitative, qualitative. So there were 2 groups for each one. So probably one group read some elements and the other group read other elements, hopefully. Okay, so quantitative, basic concept. Just keywords. It's not long.
We put that it's a systematic investigation.
Yes, exactly, systematic. All right, yes. Anything else you have read in quantitative? Quantitative. It was not so long. What else in quantitative?
Maybe it's a holistic approach that involves the discovery.
Yes, holistic, yes, holistic, and what else?
I'm not sure. Holistic approach
Yes.
that involves the discovery. Maybe. No. Sorry, I think that we talk about qualitative research. In quantitative, the systematic investigation. I have the same. And involved. Also.
Barbara, are you talking about qualitative?
Yes, qualitative is a holistic approach that involves discovery.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so you could read something else. It was not so short time. Come on. What else did you read? Anything you read is important. About mixed? What did you read about mixed? method.
Miss, I
Yes.
think that
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but
Mhm.
with the mixed methods approach to research, researchers incorporate methods of collecting or analyzing data from the quantitative and qualitative research,
They compare,
only in a single research study.
they combine, yes?
Yes, they combine qualitative and quantitative
Yeah. Yes,
in only
exactly.
one study.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And quantitative. Yes.
I Marie. I
Yes.
have the same information.
Yes, quantitative. Combine qualitative and quantitative. Methods of data collection. Yes, of data collection in one study. Come in one study. So you might have some other information about the paradigm or about the methods within these methodologies. So after you read quantitative, qualitative, you have the methods, you have them mentioned there. So they are easy to find. Quantitative, on page 67, you have the methods. What can you find there? It's very easy. It's there in the first paragraph.
The quantitative use the mathematic or experiment.
Okay. This were procedures. Uses mathematics
and
experiments or experimentation.
experimentation.
Yes, experimentation. Yes, exactly. And therefore, what is the paradigm? Without reading, you should know. ¿Se acuerdan de los paradigmas que entienden al mundo como que existe fuera del mismo, como una entidad que yo analizo con un experimento? ¿Qué paradigma era? You know this. You read about this. The paradigms. Según Walliman, according to Walliman, there were two big ones, positivist and interpretivist. Which one would be more related to quantitative research?
Interpretive.
What did we say in general about qualitative and quantitative?
No, I don't think so.
Which would be more interpretivist? If I am trying to build up understanding of phenomena, human behavior, human experiences, which will be this one? Interpretivist or positivist?
Maybe is positivism.
Okay, whenever I am trying to understand people's experiences, I am trying to understand, I see the world as a positivist or as an interpretivist. If I mention that I understand phenomena, human experience, I describe the phenomena.
In qualitative research,
yes,
the method, o sea, the paradigms predominant is the interpretivism.
Yes, now we are understanding each other. Yes, this is
In quantitative is positivism, I think, because try to the positivism try to explain the the stuff for that they are no
how they are things, how yes, the world as it is, yes, using mathematics, using
exactly
measurement, experimentation, yes,
everything that prove to exactly why are the things.
Yes, the things, how they are, exactly. Mixed method is more of what we have seen, more relativist. Yes, it depends on what goes better with the problem I am studying, but it's also quite interpretivist, I would think. Yes, so Barbara is right. The positivism tries to understand the world outside, is already there. I only have to measure it, experiment it, but I'm not trying to interpret the phenomena from the point of view of the participants, which will be more possible with qualitative research. Since I ask these open questions and I am interested in the subjective views of people. Okay, so that should be something you, from the very beginning, you need to recognize in whatever text you're reading, research or research study. The methods are easy to find because they are on a specific, under a specific title, so they should be easy to find. I'm trying to help you complete the task to the best of your ability. So methods to conduct quantitative research is here, so it's there, very easy to find. Whereas qualitative is here, yes, all the approaches. So they're easy to find. Just by reading titles and subtitles, you can find them. So they are not difficult, okay? So what can you tell me about the methods or approaches? One in qualitative is just there, I have just shown you, which is one of the methods within qualitative. Can you just check the document and tell me the subtitles? ¿Pueden ver los subtítulos del documento? People? Can you hear me? ¿Me escuchan?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so in the document, the subtitles tell you the different methods. So it's easy to find.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
About in qualitative, Miss?
Yes, or whatever you can find quickly.
Method, surveys, maybe.
No, están en el texto, Bárbara. Son los subtítulos.
Ah, okay.
The subtitles.
Case study.
Yeah, case study. Yes, okay. So we're learning how to read quickly, yes, skimming, yes, the ethnographic study. All right, yes.
Miss, exist 5 areas of methods. Yes, case study, phenomenological study.
Yes, phenomenology, yes, phenomenological study, yeah.
Grounded, I don't know
Grounded theory.
how to pronounce.
Grounded theory.
And study. Study content analysis.
Yes, content analysis. Yes, there might be another content. There might be narrative analysis also. Some authors speak about narrative analysis or narrative studies. Excellent. So those are different methods, set of techniques, steps to follow to conduct a qualitative study. So for my doctoral studies, I did a phenomenological study, which studies basically experiences. Now, for my project now, I organized a case study. Yes, a case study studying a topic. So it's a kind of case study called instrumental case study. Okay, now in the quantitative, who found this? On the first paragraph of page. It's so
We
easy.
put
It's
correlational.
Ah, okay. Yes, correlational studies. Yes.
Developmental design.
Yes.
Observational studies and survey research.
Okay. There are ways to call them observational. Yes. And survey. Yes, survey is probably the easy, the most common. Yes, to conduct a survey and analyze it by means of statistics, the results. Correlational, then we also have experimental. I am not quite sure whether they are called developmental by these authors. They might have a different, it's the same concept, but different words. So you might, in a quantitative, you have a correlational, whenever you correlate variables, yes? So the more people develop English skills, the more motivation they have. So they study the variables of skill development and motivation, for example. Then you have experimental. Those are the most well-known nowadays, experimental designs. Whenever they experiment with something, for example, with the vaccines, yes, they are experimental designs. You have quasi-experimental, whenever you do in education, mostly quasi-experimental. Because in quasi-experimental, you have a class which you study, and then you establish also another group, a control group as well. But that's a kind of experimental design. And survey, which is the most common. You fill in a form. Yes, the university does a lot of survey study. They send you a survey, ¿sí? Les mandan una encuesta, ustedes llenan y se analiza por medio de estadística. Yeah, okay, that's very common. Okay, so it's not difficult. As you see, information is very easy to find. So you will complete this very quickly for the workshop task. So if you need anything else that we explain, but can you find the information on your own, the information that is missing? Do you think? Girls, boys, can you find the rest of the information on your own? Do you think?
I have also maybe the main objective of the quantitative is create meaning through objectivity uncovered in the collect data.
Create meaning through objectivity?
Yes, uncovered in the collected data.
Covered or uncovered?
Uncovered.
Uncovered in data.
In the collected data.
Yes, okay, so through objectivity. Yes, we know that objectivity here means facts. Yes, so finding the facts, measurements, as we said, raw data, raw facts. So 22 students were sick out of 50. What is the percentage? So again, with quantitative, we're trying to look for facts. So objectivity here is not a standard within the research in itself, the research project in itself, but objectivity in the sense that they are that we are looking for facts, for numbers. Buscamos datos, hechos concretos. In that sense, is objectivity used here. Okay. Yes, whereas here we collect, as we said, we collect mostly linguistic data, which is refers to perceptions, to experiences, to opinions, points of view. So it's a different kind of data as we cover, as we collect in quantitative research. Okay, excellent. So you can find this information. The text is very easy to read. And in here, I sent you a second document, another PDF, which is a compilation from a professor in Canada on how to read a research paper. So this is what we were doing just now. By following these recommendations, you will be doing skimming, and therefore you will follow a strategy to read and understand academic writings quickly. So for example, what I told you, just read the titles and the subtitles. So you have a lot of information there. Then, and you go by cycles. So Professor Keshav is very clear in explaining different cycles through which you can go in order to understand the research paper. Yes, so you read it in several, let us say, stages, and you go through steps so that you can understand what you're reading quickly. Remember that you're looking for specific information. So you can also ask the text. Another strategy that we tried is to ask the text important questions. What is the information we're trying to find? And therefore, so you have this text to read, and here the steps of skimming. And the second group work will be dedicated, as we said, to fill in the research agenda. So here, the challenge is, first of all, to find a topic on which you're going to find the articles. Yes, you have to do it now so that you show me you have at the least you have found one article, each group, so that you show me you can do this, and you continue doing it next week. And we will check again with an example the first Thursday in June. But the important thing here is to decide on your topic. So what are you going to look up in ProQuest 1 Academic? What is it that you're looking for? Therefore, my suggestion is that you try to find 6 scholarly articles. We're going to do together a trial now, then you try in your groups. Yes, but at the least, before leaving today, antes de que nos vayamos, we have to have at least one article, at least the beginning of some of the elements. So in order to complete the research agenda, we need to find this research project, so articles that that explain research projects. They follow methodology. So not, I am in the sense, I mean not to find only theoretical articles, but articles that are related to a research project. Yes. And therefore, we are going to find this information in the article. So the reference, yes, you have Refworks to help you with reference. Nevertheless, I will also check with you the guide, and so as to find how to complete the reference. What is the research study about? And remember, you read some abstracts some weeks ago. And from the abstract, you could tell me it is about a research on experiences of teachers. It's a research on a survey done with 10,000 students on online education, whatever. So you need to tell what the study is about. For example, Lucas presented his article last week. It was on a study on minorities in the United States, students in minority groups, English learners and African Americans, and their inclusion in classes, whatever. Yes, so it should be short, but you should be able to report what is the study about. What is the study method? Yes, so you need to say it's a qualitative study, it's a quantitative study, it's a correlational study, it's a case study, it's an ethnographic study. Okay. What is a descriptive? You can also have it is descriptive, it's interpretive, it's an interpretivist, it's a phenomenological study, it's an experimental study. Who are the participants? They are 10 teachers, 1,000 students, a principal, can be one principal. There are some case studies done with one principal, ¿sí? Un director de escuela, for example. That can happen. Also phenomenology, one participant, for example. That can happen. Or 1,000 students from a university somewhere. What was how was data collected? So they conduct a survey, they answered questions, they completed a questionnaire, they took photos. How did they collect the data? And what are the conclusions? So they conclude that, for example, I don't know, 10,000 students in Harvard University prefer online teaching to face-to-face teaching. Okay, so in brief words, what is it about? What it is about? Yes, is that clear? People, are you there?
Yes, Miss.
Guys,
it's clear.
It is clear. Yes, it's not easy. I didn't say it's easy. It should be clear. And we will not know whether it is easy or difficult unless we do it. Yes, and that is the challenge. Okay. So once we are on the library website, we go fuentes de información, bases de datos. And we click there. En base de datos, vamos a buscar ProQuest One Academic. Yes. Y cliqueamos acceso remoto. We did this last week. Acceso remoto. So you, in the next page, you have the access, which is your root, RUT, and your password for educandos or your email. No, what did I do? No, ingreso, okay. We access, sorry, we access, and then we need to go to our account. Entonces, es importante que tengamos nuestra cuenta, ¿sí? So I have my account. Everything is in Spanish, so no excuses on that. You create your account. Well, you can have forgotten or not. So create an account, those that didn't. Recuerden que pueden trabajar separados y luego compartirlos también en los archivos. Entonces es importante que cada uno tenga su cuenta. Y luego vamos a la búsqueda básica. Ok, what are we looking for? Podemos buscar todos, podemos buscar las revistas científicas. Recuerden, nos vamos a concentrar en revistas científicas. ¿Cuál es el tema? Los artículos basados en proyectos de investigación se publican en las revistas científicas. Generalmente los libros, los capítulos, generalmente reportan sobre algo que se ha hecho, pero en general lo más actualizado en investigación está en las revistas científicas que se van actualizando todo el tiempo y tenemos además la revisión de los pares. Por lo tanto, por ejemplo, para evaluar la productividad de un investigador, se evalúa cuántos artículos produce en qué revistas científicas, y no tanto los libros que escribe o los capítulos que puede escribir. Eso es un tip. Entonces buscamos revistas científicas para que acotemos la búsqueda y los términos de búsqueda. Okay, do you want to do an example? Do we follow one example? Okay. search, if you think, it's not impossibly big. So 50, okay, 50 articles. Yes, on promoting TPR. Here is Camila, TPR method in teaching vocabulary for EFL beginners. Yes, and these are schools in a specific country. Esto es un país en África, I think. Okay, so expanding vocabulary. So you have a lot on vocabulary teaching. Then you can, yes, we can introduce a date. Nosotros sabemos que buscamos desde 2015 hasta hoy. Yes. So we are not looking for old, very old articles. It's a choice. Es una de las maneras de elegir. Ok. Se ha estado escribiendo en estos años. We know that. Oops, sorry. And you have there some options. Then here it can be a main article, yes, in English. So in there you start narrowing down, or you can narrow down the search as well. So in qué journal, yes, oops. En qué journal lo quiero buscar. Hay algunas personas que saben más de revistas académicas, otras menos, pero puede ser que no sea en Asia. Journal of Language Teaching and Research, Theory and Practice in Language Studies. Yes, so I can start filtering. Yes, so whenever you filter, you narrow down the options. Entonces vamos acotando las opciones. Okay. All right, so you have reading strategies. So you have, yes, ESL, as you see, is very wide. So probably ESL is not a good term for searching. Teaching English to beginner students, beginner children, in no, not in Asia, for example, in Latin American schools. Let us see what is there about Latin America. Latin American schools. Okay, Latin American schools. Okay, so we will change the search. And this only comes with practice. So here I only have 4 results. So what is done in other schools that are not probably, well, probably this one not, but let us see. English programs, intensive English programs. Well, we still don't have what we're looking for, but this could be, okay. If that does not have any results, then we can still narrow down in Chile. Okay, another option. If we still cannot find, we can go again, probably no. Latin American schools in Chile, we don't have results, but anyway, that is because probably it is too narrow, yes? So again, if you go to probably too many terms and that it's very narrow, then you're not going to find, but this is open enough, or probably teaching something specific to English beginners, English vocabulary. And that can be narrow, but not so narrow. Okay, so this is another option. So for you to see that you can go many ways, and it's all a question of experimenting. Yes, so going through different options of search. So again, we go back to TPR. Okay, this is teaching English to speakers of a certain language. Again, you need to go through to see what is nearest to what you're looking for. Okay, so these were only examples. We get clear. We divide in groups. You decide on the topic, and in 15 minutes, you show me at least one search of one article that you have done. Yes? At the least. We found this on ESL vocabulary, for example, teaching.
Okay, Miss.
Okay, let us have that objective. Okay, we divide in groups, and in 15 minutes, we come back again. Okay. Okay, so that's a roundup. That's a roundup, ¿sí? Como para redondear. Any experiences you have had with this discussion? Could you get to any conclusions? Esto es el cierre. What do you think? Could you find a topic of interest? Sophia has a topic of interest.
With my group, or my group with Lucas and Javi, we decide our topic or theme that we will develop.
Okay, excellent. Then the second thing, and I was talking to Sophia's, is about research articles. So be careful. You're looking for research projects. Yes, and I was showing them an old abstract we had at the beginning of the semester. Remember when we analyzed abstracts? And in that abstract, there was a study with teachers in India about virtual teaching. So that is a great example of the kind of abstract you're going to be looking for. So you're looking for research projects. Entonces buscamos proyectos de investigación que son reportados en el artículo. Yes, is that clear? People?
Yes.
Research articles. That means you're looking for studies. El reporte de estudios. And in that way, you will be able to fill in this matrix. And from now on, it will be easier for you also to read other articles of this of this kind of articles and find out much more information. Then, could you find at least one article, any of you? ¿Pudo algún grupo encontrar un artículo at least? On one or any topic? Barbara, which is your topic then?
The implementation of the TICs for teach
technology and information.
Yes, for teach the English in the classroom, for implement the new language. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So that's a very well-known topic. It is very much present in the literature. So you already have your search concepts, yes? TICS, teaching of English, classroom. Yes, exactly. Sophia's, your topic, would you like to share?
Yes, we we need eliminate all the things that we. But yes, but now have other information, but is short.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Around that topic, you will need to search. Very specific kind of information. Probably because of your topic, you will find many more articles that have to do with theoretical stances than research articles. It is my opinion. ¿Sí? Hay temas en los cuales encontramos gran cantidad de artículos de tipo teórico. ¿Sí? Para mi investigación yo busqué sobre paradigmas de educación y por lo tanto sí, era muy específico eran muy específicos los artículos que buscaba porque eran artículos teóricos, de análisis, de filosofía, desde el punto de vista filosófico, histórico, sociológico, pero eran todos artículos teóricos. Luego hay una sección en la que sí tengo que buscar artículos de investigación, ¿verdad? ¿Qué es lo que se ha hecho en ese tema en Chile, por ejemplo? Los encontré, ¿verdad? Específicamente la investigación llevada a cabo en un cierto tema en un lugar específico. Entonces, eso tenemos que tener cuidado, qué es lo que estamos buscando y cómo lo buscamos y en qué temas, y seguramente encontremos más de uno u otro. Seguramente hay mucho de TICS hecho a nivel de investigación empírica, hay mucho seguramente hay más, ¿verdad? Más que del tema que me estaban comentando Sofía, que quizá hay todavía una postura más teórica a que se haya llevado a cabo en la investigación empírica. Es mi inferencia, pero puedo estar equivocada.
Sí, ahora encontramos una parte que es como ciertas mujeres deciden ser madres solteras y cómo lo ven desde una mirada feminista y no feminista y cómo pueden elegir como un colegio, cómo eso se basa como en sus vidas. Así que igual podemos encontrar información.
Sí, es un estudio, claro, que quizá tenga que ver con la autoetnografía, ¿verdad? El estudio de la experiencia y la cultura, o un estudio narrativo. Pueden encontrar mucho cualitativo, es decir, estudios que se basan en historias de vida, en narrativas de personas que cuentan sus historias. Eso puede existir mucho. Yes, great. Excellent. Okay, so you are on a certain path. Pero recuerden, nos tenemos que focalizar en algún tema. Los que vimos la semana pasada los pueden volver a leer en el PPT pasado. Son simplemente referencias y eran un brainstorming hecho entre todos. ¿Sí? Claro eso. Okay, so time for reflection. Oh my gosh, I have another meeting. So time for reflection. What did we learn today? Oops.
More about the qualitative and quantitative focus in the research, and also the mixed.
Yes, about qualitative and quantitative research method and mixed. Yes, mixed. And mixed. There are special bibliography to dedicate to mixed methodology. Yes. Excellent. So complete the section on that chart. That would be very useful for you. And what I need you to focus is that you need to check materials on Educandos as usual. Check the materials to accomplish all of these materials will be also on Educandos to complete workshop 2. All of the other tasks should be completed, remember, by June the 4th. Yes. Always you can contact me in case you need help. Let us have the objective of having this research matrix for 4th of June, our next class. Yes, our next class will be on the 4th of June. And we will we will do an exercise of completing with your information one of these matrices so that
Miss,
every group has an example. Yes, Barbara.
The class will be the 3rd of June 3rd.
June 3rd. Excellent.
Yes.
Sorry. June the 3rd. Yes. So I am confused with Monday, Friday, and Friday and Thursday. So 3rd of June. So on the 3rd of June, we will complete examples of this. So every group has at least 2 or 3 examples on how to complete the matrix. And we will start talking about the next step, that is the project, and complete some other bits and pieces to complete that project. Okay, so we are already in the last weeks of the semester. I hope you have some relaxing time. Do not, if you have problems reconnecting, try not to disconnect altogether, and try to keep thinking. Probably you will have more ideas next week on what is it that you want to research on. Okay, if you don't have any questions, we have completed our class. It was great to see you. And you will upload this task on the task and upload the complete task on the task that will be created on Educandos on week 10 this week. Okay?
Okay, Miss.
If you don't have questions, that's
Miss,
everything for today. Yes?
what do you think? The topic that we choose is a good topic, or maybe we should think
No. Week 10.
change?
No, it's a good topic. No, nothing is good or bad. It all depends on what you're interested in. The use of TICs and virtual education is very, very much in vogue. It's very much ad hoc for the times we're living. Remember, students have had to compulsory start using technology for learning, something that did not occur before so extensively. So it's a great topic. I think topics never wear off. Apart from that, you can give new views to that. Yes. So the topic of TICs 3 years ago is completely different as it is today, and in 2 more years it will be different again. So,
yes.
So yes, topics never wear off, no se desgastan los temas, no existe algo como desgastar los temas, siempre hay una nueva mirada, siempre hay una nueva experiencia, siempre hay una nueva opción, una nueva aplicación. So keep open to those other options, and it has to be something you are interested in. That would be the best piece of advice I can give you. So think of the pieces of advice I have given you. Be proactive, but also be practical. Think of something you would like to do and that you can capitalize in the future, next semester and in 2 semesters, to say, okay, I have everything, I have all of this done. I am not beginning at 0, yes. So that would be my great piece of advice, the biggest advice I can give you. Okay, so research something you're interested in and that you can capitalize whenever you progress and you're demanded to keep on progressing, advancing on this topic. See? Okay, so